Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update. And I'm your host, Candi Waller, joined here with Wole from all of the things Washington
Yeah,
Commanders. He's been doing Washington Commander shows all day.
I have. You've
He
seen
really
my face
has.
everywhere. I really have.
Yep. And we're doing the game recap because I'm going to be traveling on Monday, everybody. So
Yeah.
this is fresh off the game. I know we are late doing this live recap show, live Bowie television recording nonetheless. So I said, hey, I can't do it Monday. So that means we got to make it happen on Sunday after the game. I know we are a little late. That is on me coming from
Coming
Northwest
from the game? You're
Stadium.
coming
I'm
from the
coming
game? Yeah.
from the game.
Yeah.
So, and as much as I had to be like, all right, I'm going to be on my way, I'm coming, I still wasn't necessarily on time. So,
Are you okay?
yes,
Look again, well, look where you're coming from. You're coming
yes,
straight from
I
that.
am
You're
coming,
coming from that madness. You
I
gotta
am
give yourself some
definitely
grace. You gotta give
coming
yourself some grace.
from the madness for
Yeah.
sure. So, all right, but all the same rules apply, everybody. Like I said, no Monday show. This is the Monday show, but on
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. So we're gonna go ahead and get right on into it. If this is a live Bowie television recording, everything we're saying and doing here ends up on Bowie TV. If you are in Prince George's County, Maryland, you have not cut your cable, you can find Bowie TV on channels 190, that's 190, and 1097, 1097 if you have Comcast. So make sure you check us out. Make sure you are subscribed to Bowie TV on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to Urban Sports Scene. You are watching this live TV recording on one of those shows or
Yeah.
one of those outlets.
Yep.
So share the link, share the show. We're taking live commentary. We take super chat, super thanks, all that good stuff. If you're on Facebook, make sure you love the show and share it. If you are on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Any other housekeeping items, because I know everybody has a lot they want to talk
Like. Just keep liking. Don't waste time. Some of y'all be wasting y'all time. Make sure you hit that like button for real. That's
about. Right.
that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. I don't even talk about the game. I want y'all to just like before we even talk about what we saw. All right, there you go.
It's like. We'll definitely go through some clips from some questions last week. We'll probably jump right into clips from the press conferences after the game. One clip from head coach Dan Quinn, a couple of clips from quarterback Marcus Mariota. So let's just jump right on in on how we normally do this. You all, if there's questions, Wole will definitely try to catch all of those.
So well.
We'll see if we have some time. I did pack for Madrid, so I'm ready to go. But it has been a long, long day. So we'll see if we have time at the end to get into some live, like meaning you can hop in.
Yeah. Ask your question.
But I love to play this game called What's Your One Word? So, what is your one word that you had for this game at the end of it? When the game ended, what was your one word? So, Wole, what was your one word?
Quit.
Quit was your one word. Okay, all right. Let's get into that. What's that? Your one word?
I saw people not putting in after it got when it got. I felt like people did not put in the total effort after a certain point. I felt like they quit. I don't want to be mean about it, but quit. Like some folks, you can watch it on TV and you can see it. Like they quit. And to be real with you, I felt like as soon as the Lions stepped on the football field, they didn't believe. And I know everybody can say what they want to say. It's cool and it sounds good in terms of the players and the coaches. All the talk is good, but when you see it for what it is, when they stepped on the football field, when the Lions stepped on the football field, you saw like the Commanders are looking at their bigger brothers and looking at like, dude, we don't got a chance. That's how I looked at it. Like they looking up. not looking eye to eye, but looking up and saying we don't got a chance. I got to stop because I saw somebody in the chat. Hey, Mama Waller, how you doing? Everybody say hi to Mama Waller too. If you in the chat, say hi to Mama Waller.
Everybody have to say hi.
Yeah, but that's how I looked at it. Like more than anything, because I'm all about competing, and like I don't care. Like I don't care who you have on your team. You can get beat, and that's fine. I ain't worried about that. You can get blown out to a certain extent, but I felt like they quit.
Anybody else? I think I saw one that said expected. Here's something for giggles. Like I put my head down. I was looking. Donna Hopkins. Blame Donna for this picture. Okay. There's some more pictures and video of me like asking her, "Are you recording me? Because I got a question. And if you recorded me, I'm not asking my question." But that is my face at one point in time that she caught me looking out at the field in the press box.
I get the depression. I get that by watching what you saw.
Like, ooh, whoa, like what is this? And so, to your point, Wole, I will say this. The same swag that they were in Detroit with last year. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And this has never been a super chatty, talk a lot of trash. That's never been their vibe, even like going into a game. But it was just another level of preparedness. You just saw it. You just knew it, and maybe it's for a variety of different reasons. Who knows? But it was I mean, it's always been a tough watch. You see, I know it was a lot of talk around Deron Payne, his frustration. He got ejected off the rip.
Real punch.
Right. Yep. Javon Kinlaw said he saw Amon, I always say his name wrong.
St. Brown.
Yep, St. Brown. Amon St. Brown hit Deron, and then Deron did what he did. But I was like, that was like a cold. That was just, I want to say, I don't know if everyone saw it last week, but there was a clip from WUSA 9 where last week where Bobby Wagner was doing a lot of talking to Deron and trying to get him back in the game, get back in the game mentally. And we've known Deron for a while now, and I've covered Deron for a while now, and everyone knows he hates losing. And when when it starts getting thick and the trash talking start hitting home,
he gets mad. He gets mad.
Yeah. He gets mad. So that
he's sneaky. Yeah.
He got mad, and before the game and pregame, and you all have heard me say this before. Revenge tours are real. You went into the number 1 seed's house in the divisional round and beat them.
Yeah.
And you weren't quiet during the game either, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think was going to happen?
I guess that's where my again.
It's like I'm in this space. You heard me say this before, where it's like, where is the proactive knowing that somebody's gonna come into your house to try to blow it down? That's all. I understand being the hunters, but you have to understand that others are hunters as well. And you have to understand when you are being hunted. So therefore, you have to proactively be prepared for whatever somebody's going to do to try to punch you in the mouth. Like, you have to be prepared. And so much this year has just looked like they weren't prepared for others to be prepared for them. Last year it was all a surprise. People didn't know what they were going to do. They didn't know what this coaching staff was going to be about when they all came together. They didn't know these players. Some of them they had completely written off. They didn't know what to expect. Not them as a collective. Now it's Like you're shocked that these people are going to be hitting you below the belt and running the numbers up on you. And that's where I'm like, you did know that this was going to happen, right? Like you had to know that they were going to play you different. They're going to play you different. We've always talked about playing up to your competition or doing this and you know what I mean? You have to know that this is what's going to happen. And so it's so much of this season that it felt like it didn't look like you were ready to be hunted. Understanding I'm still the hunter. But you're going to try me? All right. They have not been ready at all. And so it's like, okay, if somebody threw a punch, somebody's frustrated, all that, but you had to know they were going to do that. I think that's where I'm at. And that's what I've watched. Like, why is everybody so surprised? Like they're doing this. Yeah. You look like you weren't ready for the smoke.
Yeah, I think that's my issue. I mean, I get lose. I mean, when you're getting dominated, I get frustration, and I'm not even mad. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not even mad for Deron Payne for throwing a punch. At least he showed that he had some type of anger on the field. Like he showed some type of fight in that aspect. I know it sounds funny for me to say it, but at least there's some type of passion being shown. But like on the football field, where and obviously you want your best player not to be one of your best players not to be ejected to help you out in the football field. But I will say this, man, like in terms of, and I'm not gonna speak for the offense because I feel like that's on a different side. I think the offense, I didn't have an issue with the offense. They can do so much on their side of the ball. Yeah. But on that defensive side of the ball, like I don't know what that was. And I know Detroit's a good scoring offense. It's not a knock or anything, but that there is such thing as trying to put out some type of friction. Like something like you can get beat, but it looks like that you're putting all effort out there. And I'm not saying that, or you're putting it all out there, like just the better team in terms of competition or whatever. That wasn't that. Like to this run of 40-30, that's not like, I think it's easy to say talent, injuries or whatever. Like I think that's an easy thing for a lot of for like a lot of folks who just watch it from a distance, right? It's an easy thing to say. But like when we're talking about the scores that we're seeing and the fashion of how these teams are scoring on them, that's more than just injuries, right? That's a lot, or more than talent. That's an environment. That's more of an environment thing. It goes back to what you asked Coach about, you know, the mottos, the mantras, or the mantras, like, are they still doing it? Do they still believe it? Do they still believe in the brotherhood? I think all that has to come in question when you're having this run of bad play. And I'm not going to, I'll be real, like on one side of football, this run of bad play isn't matching up with like the mantra that we heard from last year and we heard earlier this season.
No, it's not. I think, you know, another thing with my, I think I saw a question coming here because there's a lot of things that we need to be like really,
I got you,
honest and real about, and so that I can help you all bring real life.
Do you want to put out the questions for you?
Emotions, and I can take some questions while we're talking because I know people are upset.
Yeah.
So I think, let me see.
This one, Paul. This is from Taj.
See, you know, I can't see right.
I got you. I read for you. Question: ignoring the cliche and the rhetoric, what are the realistic goals that you would like to see for the rest of the season?
That I would like to see. I mean, at this point, you got to see effort.
Yeah.
You know, you got to see effort. You know, I mean, I'm clear even in the pregame, right? That hey, even for a healthy Washington Commanders team that does everything right, I said that. I've made that comment now last week for sure against Seattle, and you heard me say it today.
Yeah.
And you ever heard me say it other weeks.
But
I said it for the Seattle Seahawks, and I said it today. Even if there was a completely healthy Washington roster, they did everything right. This is still a game they could lose.
Yeah, which is fine. Yeah.
Absolutely fair.
Yeah.
I watched competitive football games that somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
there can only be one winner. They don't give out participation trophies.
Yeah,
So it's try effort, because it's unraveling real bad. Now you saw the offense hold up. Now today, was I all in on all of the play calling? And no, because there were still some challenges in the beginning that I'm like, now come on now.
Yeah.
Run the ball consistently, right? Do it
Mm-hmm.
consistently. And but when Terry and Arnold went out with the concussion, okay, you're gonna take a bit. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You started taking a little bit more shots. Terry and Arnold is out.
Yeah.
So you saw that. That's what happened when you started saying, "Oh, they going downfield." Yeah, Terry and Arnold is out with a concussion. That's why. So you saw them make those moves, and that's great. And the offense can only do but so much. Seriously, they digging way deep. But I would have liked to see them have run the ball more consistently. Now on defense, there's something going on there.
That's just
There's something going on. And that was very clear today.
Songbird B,
reason.
He's giving you flowers. Said, girl to girl, Candi, you look beautiful tonight. Songbird
thank you. Said that. Hello, hi.
Songbird B. Gotta make sure folks get their flowers.
Thank you.
Gotta make sure.
That's that game day beat, child.
You got Paul.
Game day beat, girl. Got to get that game day beat. I try to do my own beat, but it's like my own beat. I just be like, oh, this is Candi cute beat,
I love it. I love it.
Game day beat. I come in there different.
I love it.
Because they losing don't mean I'm not winning. All right.
They facts.
Come in there and I got a straw. My mother is probably like, what is wrong with my daughter? She got a straw in her hand.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Hey,
Paul. Earlier today in the pregame, I just knew they were going to lose it, so I kind of gave way a little bit.
All right, got a question. I'm gonna Paul. I got you off to another world. I'm gonna get you too. Paul his question is, Candi, I have to ask this: if we lose to the Dolphins in the same fashion as Dan 2 and done, there is a precedent with him. There's a precedent with him.
No. Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Dan Quinn. He's talking about Dan.
I think okay, let's go ahead and let's make this very, very clear, you all.
Yeah, go ahead for it.
Players across the league love Dan Quinn. What I know in terms of what the thought is on the outside, but inside the league is the injuries. People are like, Jaden and Terry ain't playing. They like, Jaden and Terry ain't playing. That's what,
No, I got you outside, yeah.
Right. And they're players. So players are going to look at it completely different. They're going to see other things that we don't see. They're going to look at it from a completely different, they're going to look at it differently than everybody.
Yes, that is true.
Right. So players are like, oh, what you think you're going to do without your starting quarterback and your number one receiver?
Yeah, but how they asking about the defense though? What they saying? What you gonna do?
But see, they haven't said to me.
Yeah,
they haven't said anything. But this hasn't changed anybody's viewpoint on wanting to come to Washington. Let me be so super duper clear. This has not changed anybody's viewpoint on wanting to come to Washington. You all, it has not changed anybody's view on wanting to play for Dan Quinn.
Love it.
It has not changed anybody's opinion on wanting to play with Jaden Daniels. Okay, so I hope everybody is using their clues, being very clear on that with me. This doesn't, because culture is culture from a head coach perspective, and what Dan Quinn does and how he makes people feel and how they are and what he does. You really don't find that in head coaches in any sport, honestly. Okay, so I want that to be very clear when I'm talking about head coach Jaden Daniels, what people say, and just how the organization is. The bad rap that the Washington team and franchise had pre-Josh Harris era, that is gone. That's gone right now. It is not that's a bad place to play. Oh, don't nobody want to play there. No. They're looking at it and they like, man, they down. They losing bodies every game. That's how players are gonna look at it. What you want them to do? They from the practice squad. What you want them to do? You know, that's how they're looking at it. So
Mm.
it is a very different mentality. Dan Quinn is not on the hook. Not right.
Are we off to another world? Says, what is the word on Tommy Donatel in the locker room? Tommy Donatel.
We actually had a scrum with him on
Oh,
Friday.
okay, okay.
The media did. And I mean, it's nothing right now because you got to figure and again, there's some areas where injuries can get you a little bit off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where it may not is perhaps the play of Mikey Samerstill or somebody like that.
Mm.
Right? Because if you know a player, this is my speculation.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying here. If you know a player played better in another position when you use them, how many weeks do you have to go with trying to do the same thing when you're like this?
And they were still doing it this week.
Yes, it was.
Which is bothering me.
Yes, they still did it this week. Even with Marshawn out, they still did it. They still did it. And so that's where the question may become, okay, wait, where's the shift? Where's the change? We're going to do things different because this isn't working.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like? Did you see the? I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm curious about this. Did you see like the tweet or social media thing that was going around with Mikey and his? I think his girl responded to something about Mikey's play, and he was like, and his girl was like, "It's the system. It ain't Mikey."
I have not.
That's it. It's out there. And I was like, I don't know if he was being punished for it. To be honest with you, I was curious about because that didn't make any sense. The reason why I say that.
What was the date on that?
It was recent. It was recent. It was recent. It was recent. It was like I'm not gonna find it. Paul sent it to me initially. I'll find it. I'll send it to you. But it's recent.
Tell me the date.
All right. Once I find it, I'll send it to you. Here you go. Timothy Candi always looks good. Look at Timothy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to bring some zest, some joy.
You're bringing some joy because I ain't gonna lie. I was annoyed. I'm not in a joyful mood. Scott said this team needs a serious injection of young talent. Well, the draft is coming after in the off season, so we'll see.
I'm gonna have a lot to say about that. My thoughts.
To your point, this is what Candi said this about Kinlaw. Said St. Brown threw the first punch to Payne when no one saw it. Did you see the punch? Did they replay it? Did you see it?
I saw Duran's.
But you ain't see St. Brown. You ain't see St. Brown's punch.
No. I didn't. I saw Duran's. But I didn't see it.
Nah, he didn't get kicked out. Yeah, nah. Mikey didn't get kicked on the outside. Mikey wasn't on the outside. Wasn't he on the outside? Coach. He was on the inside. Jonathan Jones was on the outside. No, Jonathan Jones was on the outside. Mikey got beat. Mikey didn't play, but he got beat by St. Brown on the inside. But that's the touchdown I remember. What do you think? Only bright spot? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Only bright spot today. Burks did look good. Burks looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Traylon looked good. But go ahead, Kenny.
No shade there. I like Traylon.
I like Traylon a lot, actually. I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Hey, just everybody chill, Who else he's gonna throw it to? Who else?
I'm just telling I personally think he's gonna be all right. I like him. I ain't gonna lie to you. No shade on anybody. I like him better than the chosen one. I know that. I like him better than the chosen one.
I will say Robbie Chosen should have got a few PIs. There's some PIs out there.
That one had PI.
And I'm like, where is the respect?
Yeah, the chosen one should have had at least one PI. I saw that one.
At least one.
Yeah, she had one.
Good grief.
But yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to show clips, those are. I think we're good for.
Okay, so we're good right now for questions.
Yeah,
we will go ahead and just dive right on into some of the clips. You all, if you're just tuning in, this is from the Coaching from the Couch series, your Washington Commanders update. This is a live Bowie television recording. You all, I'm your host, CWall Waller. I'm here with Wole, who does like all the things Commanders. That's literally how I introduce him because that's what he does. All the things Commanders.
She's not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're on
Not
TV.
lying.
He does it all day. So especially on game day.
Yeah, all day
And
on game day.
he was kind enough to, since I'll be traveling on Monday evening, he was kind enough to say, let's go ahead and do this recap. Because at first I was like, oh, do I even want to do this recap? Oh, but I have to do it. So
You got to
next week, because of the time, you all, I guess I'll do the recap next week too. We'll have to talk about that Wole. I don't know how that's gonna work.
What for the what
next week? But see, this is what
we'll
happens
on
TV, because this you start.
We'll make it work.
Maybe everyone else doesn't do it. I get told that I'm the only person they work with that does this, where I just start. But anyway, sorry. Okay. If you guys are watching, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share it. I think I saw that Shelly reposted it. Thank you, Shelly.
She did. Shelly always. Shelly's always.
Shelly always showing all the big love. You can send super chats, all that cool stuff. Let's get into some clips. What's your preference? Should we get into use your clues clips or clips from today? I feel
I would say
from today, right?
Today first. Today first, then we can go to the clues.
Let's jump into today clips. All right, let's dive right on in. These are some Marcus Mariota clips. Drop what you're thinking or any questions you have in the chat, and let's just roll from there.
Last year, you guys seemed to figure out the identity early in the year. You've been on a lot of teams. Why has it been so hard this year for that?
Every year is very unique. Every year poses different challenges. So with that being said, I don't really know. And I think that's why we are all standing here today, kind of where we're at. So it's going to take a collective effort to get this thing going in the right direction. But with that being said, I believe in these guys.
Look, and I believe Marcus.
I believe Marcus too.
Absolutely, Marcus. I know what I think. I know what I think in terms of what happened. I mean, Jaden's not there. Terry's not there. I mean, you take a hard look. And I'm gonna also say this, because I think that, there was a lot of talk. Okay, nobody wants to talk about last year. And I'm like, but you can't you can't not talk about last year if you want to build on what you did last year. Like, what made last year, and keep it up and be honest with yourselves about what made last year. Like, what made it happen, right? And I mean, I know what I think made it happen, right? Because things are always good when you're winning, right? But a clean bill of health does a lot for everybody.
Yeah.
Where it almost made you feel like, well, how much work did you have to do from a coaching or scheming and all that perspective?
Yeah. It's crazy because last year
you had an offense that was going to get you out of a jam. I'm talking about from a defense's perspective.
Yeah.
Offense that was going to get you out of a jam. You did what you need to do.
I agree with these
because, and I think I see a question here that I think you need to acknowledge about any changes within the medical staff.
Yeah.
Something like what? There was a lot done to enhance the medical, the athletic trainers, and all of that. What is that now? Is it still in place? Is everyone still there? Everyone's still doing the same thing? Because that's a good question. Now, I don't know if it's a question for Coach Quinn. I don't think it's maybe not a question for him. But I don't know either. But it's something to definitely look into because of the soft tissue injuries. I mean, this is like every game. This is like every game now, and so it's something to be, to consider for certain about, well, if you built on that, what went well and what is different this year? Okay, if it is injuries, everybody knows football is a brutal sport. Got it, understood, good. But if there was a particular regimen, or I don't want to call it a system, but just a process or regimen that players use or didn't use for recovery, right? Like, are they stretching enough? Are they in recovery long enough? Or, whatever they eat? I don't know. But it's like, when you get to a certain number of injuries, it's like, okay, everybody, what's happening?
What's happening? Mm-hmm.
But and the schedule is different.
Yeah.
The schedule is different. This goes back to my thing of
camps are too soft. Shelly said camps are too soft, and so are practices.
Right. And so it becomes what's different, right? Were these the same level of practice you were doing last year? Were the same things you were doing? And Stretch Love, if you would ever like to advertise on Bowie TV, please send us a message.
There you go.
Business you like to advertise on the channel. We do advertising packages. So shameless plug.
There you go.
You can advertise.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
So have your business name in lights. And so
there you go.
So could have gone with me to Madrid, but anyway, your business name. You could be in Madrid.
Yeah, exactly.
Madrid. But it becomes
teams would be last year. Yeah, that too.
It becomes but this, I think, and to that point of these are teams that you beat last year,
story, right?
Well, I go into context.
Mm-hmm.
While I thought the Commanders could beat the Falcons in the Bears again this year.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Jaden Daniels had the ball last.
Mm-hmm.
In both of those games. Those games were not easily won. Yeah. And I have always said, Wole, you've heard me say this so many times off the record. Some of those games last year, it gives people a false sense.
Yeah, some were lucky.
Of the state of the team. Some were lucky. A false sense of it because you just walked away with the win, but it didn't look good. It was a bad looking game, but it was exciting. And the excitement was there. And in 2 of the 3, let's use the revenge tour. In all 3 last year, you had Jaden Daniels, right? Now the revenge tour, 2 of the 3, you have not had Jaden Daniels, right? Because you didn't have him in Atlanta, you had him for Chicago, but you didn't have him today, right? And so in all 3 of those last year, you did have, we had Jaden and you had Terry. Right. In all 3 of these games, you haven't had Terry. And I've gone up and down about the, with how things happen in the summertime. But the reality is Jaden Daniels last year, Terry McLaurin. Those 2 made a huge difference for this football.
So many big plays last year.
Oh my goodness, they did. They really did. And it was going to take everybody to even get close to building on what they had last year. Because just one difference has completely altered this season. But in this case, it hasn't been just one difference. It's been like 10.
Yeah.
It's been like 10. And I think it has illuminated, what was the offensive play calling like last year? Well, I can tell you, you know what I mean? And what I believe, it was a lot of comfortability and familiarity between Jaden and Cliff and his receivers and his teammates that they just haven't had that time on task to have that. And then defensively, I'm going to say what I've been saying. It was like this. It's getting worse now because every game
it's worse now. It is worse now.
Every game it does get worse, but it was very similar to this. But you had an offense that was going to score in the very next drive.
This is true.
It was going to score, and they just don't have that this year, unfortunately.
I like this question from Shelly. She says, so we talk about coaches and players. When do we talk about Adam Peters?
Well, this is something that I said back during the summer when after my preseason, I think Wole, you asked me, it was on several shows, which was what's your What's your overall take? And I said, I sure hope nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
You know, now
Facts.
we know.
Facts.
Because now you all can point back to the preseason and what you saw in preseason, and what you saw in preseason was very real from a depth perspective. That was real.
Yeah.
That was real.
Yeah. And we saw all that bad play.
I don't pay attention to preseason. Well, you should.
Because of depth. You're right.
Because those are the players that if somebody gets hurt, that's who's going to play.
Very good point. Very good point.
And so you have to be, and I'm going to always say, I see people talking about you bringing in older players. Let me tell you something right now. If it was not for some of these older players, this would really look bad. It would. Like, seriously. Like it would not be this. It would be worse. And you probably wouldn't have had the year last year either. Because I think I answered the question about the depth, right?
You did, yeah. Anna Peters, you answered that one. Yeah, right? you answered it.
Here's the thing: you got 2 drafts full of people. Where are they?
Because some of them haven't panned out.
Haven't
panned out. It's just, it is what it is. And then people are relying, and
I appreciate that question from Shelly, because I'm like, people are talking about older players, and I'm like, yo, do you know how many draft picks are out there? And undrafted rookie, you know how many people are out there right now? They outnumber the older players by quite a bit.
Yeah. And then you got guys who you are hoping to take the jump, and they haven't.
Because that was one of my other things, was I need to see what the second year rookies are going to do.
Yeah.
And that was drafted and undrafted.
Yep. I would even say, to be honest with you, because I know it's harder, undrafted players it's harder for them to kind of put a dent on the squad. Even late round. That's why I don't really get into people like Kane Madrano and folks like that. Those type of players typically in the NFL are usually special teamers, to be real with you.
Yep.
So it's not a knock on him. If he does it, he's a hell of a story, right? That's how you look at late round picks. Even that's what makes Bill's story so thorough, because typically those players aren't slotted in to be your starting running back, right? They're not really slotted that way. But when you're looking at and I like these are some of these players I actually like, so you can tell I'm not being biased or anything. I'm being real. Jerzon hasn't been the guy that I thought he would be in the league so far. You're talking about Ben Sinnott. I like Ben Sinnott in Kansas State. He hasn't turned out to be the one I thought he would be.
I said, oh wow, look, Ben Sinnott.
He got a touchdown. Yeah, touchdown. Yeah, exactly. But he's not the player that people wanted him to be off the rip. And these are guys that Adam Pierce selected pretty early, where you can probably get it. If you go back, we can all play armchair quarterback, but still, it is what it is. If you go back and you can say, I would have picked, there are players in the draft that are better than those players that picked earlier than him. I mean, picked after him. Was picked after him, and they chose him over those individuals. Or if you, and this is going, it is what it is. I'm gonna be real. Even Connerly, first pick over, your first round pick. There are, when you look outside of that, and you're gonna see other better players that even at positions that you need are better players than him that you didn't draft. So it goes to what your point about it's not, and I've said this consistently, so it's not shade on Connerly. I want folks to understand this. I actually think Connerly will be a good player, a better player in year 3. I think in year 3 you'll get the real version of Josh Connerly. So I'm not saying, I do think there will be better players than Josh Connerly in year 3, but I think Josh, in terms of when we assess him as being a good player, he will be a good player in year 3. That's my opinion about Josh Connerly. But again, you're looking at the draft, you're gonna say well, last year we could have had this player, we could have had that player, we could have had this pass rusher, but we chose to have him, and he's struggling at his position. You know what I mean? So the question is, I think it's a fair question to have about Adam Peters in terms of the job he did this season.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and this was something that flew well under the radar when people want to keep hollering about the young guys.
Yeah.
Dominique Hampton got released after the first preseason game. I said it then. I said, so is anybody going to talk about this? Because Dominique has not been picked up, you all.
I know. And I'm gonna catch up on that too. I would say this.
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna say this. I watched Hampton in college. I'm seeing this is what's so funny. When folks were trying to say that he was gonna have this particular role, I was like, no, he ain't. He ain't that good. I'm not to be mean, but I said that. Like, that's why I was surprised, like, because he played safety in college. And Adam Peters, and I know that Dan Quinn wanted to move him to a linebacker. And I was like,
I always say they wanted to try.
Yeah.
My assumption was they wanted him to be like Cam Chancellor. That was my assumption.
He wasn't even close. Like I was like, I remember saying that. And I remember saying this. I remember
using Cam Chancellor because that was the only thing I could like.
Yeah, but I remember even saying this. Like, I was like, when they were moving, and this is no whatever, but I was like, he's not even better than Jamin Davis. I remember even saying to myself, he's not even like he on this team. He's not even better than Jamin Davis. Like, I literally, like, I'm a Michigan fan. I even watched the national championship game with him, and I was like, this dude ain't good. Like, he ain't good. He can't cover. I remember like he can't cover. Like, he can hit, but it ain't like for a linebacker or anything special. So again, like, to your point again,
flew under the
like,
radar.
Yeah,
everybody said use your clue.
Yeah. But to your point again, there are questions about, like, we could talk about this, that, and the other. Talking about coaches and players, but I do agree that, you know, some of the decisions. And I like Adam Peters. I think he's done a good job in the grand scheme of things, right? They'll turn, but I think it's fair to question some of the moves that he has made.
I think it's fair. Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's fair. And that was the first time I said, okay, I know nobody's talking about this. Use your clues. You just released one of your draft picks from your first draft, and he is still not in week 10.
Picked up
to my knowledge. He's not been picked up.
And I wouldn't be surprised. And to be real with you,
we're talking about younger guys and somebody who's young, but nobody else picked him up. People been dropping like flies all around, and they got practice squads, man.
Yes.
Anybody can pick up someone to practice squad. So
I agree. Candi, I agree.
That's something, you know what I mean? And so it becomes they're not just throwing in the towel and be like, all right, just put it all in the practice squad, just put everybody in there.
Yeah.
There's way more younger guys. I want people to understand and know the roster well enough to know there's way more younger guys that are taking these snaps overall than older. The older people are on the roster, yes.
Yes.
Not, you know what I mean?
They're not getting that burn like everybody thinks.
You know what I mean?
Todd got a question for you too, though. And then I'm sure if you want to play a clip too, I'm sure you probably want to. He said, so are we picking the wrong rookies, or are they misused or not developed like Mikey?
I think I'm gonna talk about last year like I did the Hail Mary game, and I said that Hail Mary game was one of the best things that ever happened to the Washington Commanders, and it was also one of the worst because it gave a false sense of reality.
Yeah.
Now, where everybody can be disappointed, everybody, all stakeholders involved, was that the mantras you actually played like that.
Yeah, they did play like that at that time. Facts. Totally agree.
Now, the mantras and playing like that, again, using your clues, they didn't play like that in the preseason. So technically in the preseason, everybody should have known, everybody, that's myself included, you all, okay?
Yeah.
Should have known something isn't right. Because they're not even playing like that. So what's wrong? What happened? Because you saw it. And so this is why I tell people, I don't watch the preseason. Watch it. Trust me. Because the younger guys, the depth players, the identity of the team, it really, truly illuminates in the preseason. And you don't have to even win a game. But you can see things. Hey, I was at the New England joint practice, right?
Yeah.
I was at the New England. What was one of the things that I told you all? I said the New England Patriots are going to be good.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, you said it.
You asked me about Drake May. I said he's gonna be just fine. With
you did tell me. You told me that. Yeah.
Travion Henderson, he did something. They got themselves a banger with that draft pick.
Yeah.
Everything that we see right now were things that illuminated itself in preseason. That's why I encourage people, watch the preseason. You're going to hear these names again. You're going to hear them. You're going to see them. Trust me on this. And that's what I said it. I said they're going to have the season that the Washington Commanders had last year.
They are having it right now. Yeah, and they're having it too.
Eerily similar to what happened last year. I said Coach Vrabel is the right thing for them. So you see these things.
You're right.
But I also saw there was no depth. Yeah. So it was like with the command, like here we go.
We saw that preseason game. We saw it like that first.
Every day, you guys, everybody. Hey, does anybody else want to ring this along with me or no?
Because, you know what's so crazy about that though, Candi? When you say that, because I remember doing the stream. It's funny because you say that because that was my concern too, right? Because people were like, "Why were you?" Because they were mad. They were questioning why was I concerned about like that preseason game, and I was like, I think it's concerning because. Like y'all acting like everybody because it's football. People get hurt all the time. People go down. This just shows me. There's two things that it showed me, to be real with you. One, like you said, a lack of depth, but also when you're cultivating an environment, I'm a big believer in this. Like I don't even care your bench players. Like your bench players got to play to a certain level. Like not, and these are these dudes who may not make your team. They got to play to a certain level in terms of competition and competing. So when I saw that like they can get like walk like that, I was like. Yo, like you're like the environment that the tone that you're setting, there's a disconnect. You know what I mean? Like there's a disconnect. Like it's not that same because the energy I would make the argument the energy last year, even in preseason, they didn't win a lot of games, but the energy and the way they played, them kids on the back end who didn't make the team and didn't make the team, they all played hard.
They played hard.
They all played hard.
Cases for themselves. It was like, oh, look at this, look at that. We were like, oh,
look at Tyler Owens flashed over there. Yeah, who are now on this team, but you got guys who, but you get it.
For sure. And so it's like you saw it. Yeah, you knew. And then it's like, well, who you want me to put in? Because they still look like this, which is still a problem. It's still an issue. But then that becomes I'm gonna tell you what I also realized. I realized just how good Jaden Daniels was last year. Just how
I don't even know if he could have saved the way this defense looks now. I don't even know.
Not like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, but here's the other thing. I don't think they play like this if he's there.
Maybe not. I don't know. This defense is so bad.
Scheme is still the same. Missed tackles was an issue last year, but by this time, it's week 10. They got better. Things got better.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. They got better. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, I will never forget the New Orleans Saints game. It was freezing in that press box. I couldn't really see. I got irritated about something. And I went and I sat by myself in the press box. And the Washington Commanders almost lost that football game. I don't know if y'all remember that Saints game.
Oh, they almost lost the game. Yeah, they almost lost the game. Yeah. They ain't look good either. They ain't look good in that game. After they started fast and then they ended it off real slow. Rattler almost like beat them. They went for 2, right? To try to win the game.
He went for 2 to try to win the game, and it just spoiled on him. You know what I mean?
Barely too. He could have caught that too. Because he was there.
Caught it and just did.
Yeah.
So that's another game that still flies under the radar. Why? Because they won. And see, I'm the kind of person that, this goes back. The refs were ridiculous.
They were bad in that game. No, she's right. Shelly's right. They were bad in that game.
They were bad. And you remember the Dallas game. Well, we remember both Dallas games.
Yes.
But the last game of the regular season, everybody forgets.
Yeah.
Because they won.
Yeah.
Marcus came into the game because Jaden wasn't feeling too right with his leg at that time, right? In the playoffs were coming, and they had to win. Last minute touchdown to Terry. The defense was getting beat by Dallas's third string.
And that was wild. I know.
That was third stringers out there that they were playing. For real.
You're right.
Practice squad players have been elevated. The last game of the season, they almost, I was there.
Yeah, almost lost that one too.
Remembers. And so I'm gonna be honest, at week 10, and injuries play a role. Could this be better? It could absolutely be better. You said something about quit, and I saw some things today that I will honestly say I'm not going to say out loud necessarily what I saw. Not right now. Am I going to say what I saw? But I saw a few things.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it did not look good.
Players that I have not seen.
Exactly.
I have not seen. And I know that's not their pedigree.
Oh, Sally got a good question. Yeah, we got 2 questions. I know we got to get the clips soon though, but I'm gonna read these last 2.
Bunch of clips.
Let me read these 2 questions and then we go to clips. All right. First off, Pat said, bringing Joe Witt from the booth did what? The defense was worse.
Oh well.
And this is a good quick. This is Shelly. She said, "Will injury save Witt's job?" Basically.
No.
Dang, she's quick. All right, and oh, this is a good question. This is the question I asked.
My speculation is no, because there was enough. I mean, Dietrich hurt. That hurt. Losing Dietrich hurt. Losing Will Harris hurt too. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but Will was there today.
I heard he's been around for.
And Will was on the headset. I think he was just listening. You know, he just catching up. But he's such an excellent communicator. I was happy to see him. Jaden was there too. Javante.
Yeah, I saw Jaden. Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know. Y'all saw Dietrich. You know, he's been around. You know, he's very just funny people. Good people. I think, you know, more so on the offensive side, you might see like injuries could say. Yeah. Defense.
Not really. Okay, this is a good question, and then we're gonna go to the clips because this is a question I actually have. So it's on my docket. So I guess we'll cancel it out right here. Mazdak said, did Witt lose the locker room because they didn't look like they were playing for him? Do you feel like Joe Witt lost the locker room? Or was that too early to say? Or you mean too early?
Too early, I would say. If you and I see the next question about what you mean. You saw things out of guys you didn't see before. I'm not.
She may want to dive into it.
Right. I'm not going to say. But I'm talking about watching the game, and then to Mazdak and Ellison's both questions. I'm going to try to answer both of your questions.
Yeah, go for it.
In my answer.
Yeah, go for it.
I saw the highest level of regression today. Based on lack of effort.
There you go. All right.
I saw lack of effort. I saw things in individuals that I know them, and that's not who they are.
I think y'all can get out of that once you need to get out of it.
That ain't even how you roll.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
But hey, if somebody running past me, remember I made that joke about I wouldn't want to tackle Debo Samuel. Like
exactly. Yeah.
That's kind of what it started to look like. Hey, I ain't did that. That's somebody else's job.
Ellison got you. He got it. Ellison got it. That's good. I'm glad he got it. There you go. Yeah, I think you answered that question. I think you answered that question.
You use your clues on who you saw that in, but I saw it in some people that I know very well.
You answered that question pretty well. Like I must say, every time, every team has injuries, but your scheme should have players in the same spot, no matter who's on the field. Problems, the defense is not good for 2 years. It has been bad, pretty much. Paul said, "Good job, Candi. We get it because they are listening."
Yes, the shows do get watched. I will tell you all that.
Because you got good content.
They have good content. Yes. And so they go looking for you got to show proof of content. You got credentials. You got to show proof. And I just I have to
I feel like if Joe was a math teacher, the teacher teaching trigonometry, and the class needs to learn algebra. That could be a thing too. All right, so Candi, let's go to your clips. Let's go to clips. More clips.
Ooh,
let's go to more clips.
I had to get some water. I might have to get another bottle of water, but all right, more clips. All right, here's another one from Marcus.
Marcus, how far away does it feel from being the team that you think you're capable of being?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't feel real close. And the same time, though, day in and day out, I see guys coming in, giving it their all. So I do feel like we have the motivation, the determination to get this right. But we're running out of games and we're running out of time. So there has to be a sense of urgency, which I do believe there is in the locker room, and we'll figure it out.
You out of town, my guy.
Yeah, clock was ticking. They was talking about that at the camp.
I know.
I mean, it's gone. So I mean, you know, I don't listen. I told you all my threshold. I've been saying it. My threshold on defense was week 4 against the Atlanta Falcons. That was my line of nope. Somebody's got to be meeting and talking through this thing, because whoa. Now for the offense, I still gave them a little bit of leeway, but for me, offense, that was week 7 in Dallas. You know, so basically it's like every week I'm like, here we go, here we go. Oh, my mom said, okay,
yeah. Good night. Good night with my mom.
And so, well, let me keep doing this with the clips. Let's keep doing clips.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going clips. I'm done with the questions.
How surprised are you that we're sitting here and you're after 10 games that you're still saying you still have to figure out who you guys are and what you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should shy away from that. I think that's the truth. And I think that's transparency. And at the end of the day, in order to get things going in the right direction, you have to be transparent. You have to be honest. And I don't think we are who we think we are. So with that being said, it's a quick turnaround. It's a trip to Europe. It's an opportunity for us to kind of dive in together. You know, I believe in this brotherhood. I believe in the guys in the locker room. But like I said, there's got to be a sense of urgency, and I think our guys feel that.
So yeah, let's stop there. We don't think we are, you know, we're not basically who we think we are. Yeah. And my thing is, well, why did it take till week 10 to figure that out? Yeah. I mean, and that's no shade to Marcus, because I like Marcus Mariota.
He's such a good guy. He's such a good guy.
Really, he's on my list of just blessings of people that I've gotten to cover in my career, and he is on it. Like, he is amazing. So my comment is absolutely no
Seems
shade.
like a real genuine dude.
He's been a wow. And because I got to do research on people. You know, Marcus wasn't always like this. He had to grow, right? You had to grow. You have ups and downs, you know, ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys in your career. And he can speak to that. Like, you know, nobody's business. So my comment is not at all shade to him at all. But I feel like, and I've been feeling like this since week 4, it's like, is everybody getting the right feedback that they need to be better? Or is it one of these situations where it's like, you know what, they'll figure it out. They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, Shelly said, I'm glad Marcus said it. Yeah.
You know, because I told you this week 4. I really said this week 4 in September. Way before November, to have these kind of conversations or that realization, not saying, hey, you know, but just still, you know, hey, I don't think this is who we are. So what does that look like from a corrective action standpoint? What is that? We'll get into that a bit more based on, you know, like some of the questions I had last week. But let's get into another one of Marcus's clips.
Okay.
Marcus, we saw on the field some of the frustration started to boil over with Duran, Javon. How do you guys keep that from, you know, fracturing the locker room? I know you guys have preached a brotherhood, but when frustrations reach a certain point, how do you guys keep everybody together?
Well, you said it's the brotherhood, right? And as much as we talk about it, the accountability is there, because when you are day in and day out with these guys, you have to be able to look them in the face and say, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And unfortunately, I think with the way the game went today, frustrations did boil over. And I appreciate Bobby because he did say some things at half that, one, I think represented kind of all what we were thinking, and two, like, hey, setting the standard of who we want to be. So I have no doubt in my mind that we have the group here to get this thing right, and it's going to take some time, but we got to figure it out soon.
So let me tell y'all something, and this is why it's so important to have a very this is complex, right? It's complex, and you do one thing, you know, and this is why when people say, well, you do this with the young guys, do this, okay, but does your result change? Right? Does your result change? Because you can't tell people who do this for a living to just go out there and quit, even though, you know, it might look like that's what's happening. But like, I'm gonna get on my Bobby Wagner soapbox for a moment, because I've watched members of the fan base drag this man all season long. Everybody loved Bobby Wagner just last year.
Everybody loved Bobby last year. That's a fact. They did. This is true. I want that. That's what amazes me. But go ahead. I agree with you. Where you're going with that one.
And he displayed the same kind of speed last year too. He didn't get slower. He was that's what it was last year too. Okay. Love Bobby Wagner. When what was it, like the first signing, re-sign? Oh gosh, everybody was there. Everybody was Bobby Wagner.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Wagner. You know, Bobby Wagner. You know,
They were though. This is no real talk. They were though. A lot of people were. No, I agree. I agree with that. Everyone was excited. They weren't like, yeah, this is true.
What he single-handedly does,
yeah,
for each and every single player in that locker room, literally each and every single player in that locker room, including your favorites, Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
A lot of the reason why Terry is still here, I would almost say probably the majority of the reason why Terry is here is because of Bobby Wagner. And you heard Marcus, even not like that wasn't necessarily Nikki's question, but he said, I appreciate Bobby because he, you know. And while it, you know, may not have necessarily equaled into a change in behavior on the field, because there's clearly something going on.
It's clearly something.
Because I know how much he has poured into each member of this football team, I would think twice before thinking about not having Bobby Wagner in this building.
I mean, I personally,
he wasn't there. You think this bad?
You talking about this year? You talking about this year
and last?
Oh, like these two. Oh, you're talking about okay. No, I agree with that. Yeah. I'm not arguing. I'm talking about in the future. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Even in the future, whatever the case may be, like there's levels to this, right? There's levels to just, you know, play and all the things that these guys need to be great, to be ready to take the snap. I'm talking about the young guys.
No, I agree with you, Candi. I agree. I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
And when Marcus unsolicited brought him up, because Marcus is a veteran and he's a lead on the team that people look up to.
And he didn't have to bring him up either.
He didn't have to bring him up. But let me also say this. What does concern me is I've often observed where a Bobby or a Marcus or a Zach did some more of that hands-on coaching that resonated more with the younger players. Maybe with the veterans as well.
Then the coaches, are you trying to say?
You all can take that comment and keep it in your Use Your Clues notebook.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you now. Okay, gotcha.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's why I don't really take Bobby Wagner slander on any. Like I don't take Marcus Mariota slander too well, or Zach. I don't mind admitting it. You know, I mean, because they were the same people last year. This is not a decline in performance.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not. So it's like, so I'm like, well, what's the problem?
You don't think Zach? I mean, I like you know, everybody knows I'm very pro Zach, but I kind of would think that I think Zach, there's a slight decline in Zach.
I think that,
And I am a Zach.
I think you saw Jaden use his security blanket, and Jaden is not behind center.
That's true. That's true. But he was dropping passes for Jaden, though. That's what I'm saying. Even more.
But now I'm a so.
Yeah.
But you saw a lot more activity because remember the drop passes never phased Jaden. He would do that last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
It was last year. It would be those contested. You know, where did he stop? Did he get the first down or not? Those were conversations that were happening last year.
Queen Sheen got a question for you. So do you think coaching is not playing people to their strengths?
I think that here's what I think is happening. I think that they are doing what they feel like is best based on what they know. I don't think they are given corrective action. And I don't think they're, effectively using their clues to know it's not working. Somebody has to say it should not have taken a week 10 to be like, you know what, we are not as good as we think we are. Hey, man. That week in Atlanta before you left Mercedes-Benz, before I leave up out of Atlanta, let me tell you something.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree. I don't. That's why I ignore.
You can't. It's like in life. You can't always wait for the light bulb to go off for people on their own. Sometimes you gotta give that encouragement there in real time. And I asked Coach about that, right? But like, I'm gonna go back to that veteran presence and what I'm saying. You can't just move people out of the way for the young guys. Those young guys depend on these men.
Well, I'm gonna say this too, though. Honestly,
I see it.
Yeah, but this is
true. They do.
But this is a fair thing too, though, and this is like the fair, and this is the realest thing in life too. If you're a young guy, and everybody wants to see the young guys, and all that, I hear that talk all the time. But you know what? Real talk. Young guys gotta take it though. You just can't be given. You gotta take it though. Like that's the one thing I will say though. Like regardless of what you feel about people, like let's give them a try. Sometimes you gotta take it. It can't be a try. Like you gotta when you're on the football field, like anything in life, in your job, in your profession, anything. When you get this opportunity, you gotta show people the reason why they should the reason why they should take your job, or the reason why take that person's job, or the reason why you should be highlighted over this individual. You gotta show it. You gotta take it. Like, all right, I'll give an example. I like Jordan McGee a lot. I do. I like him a lot. I don't make it. I love Jordan McGee. I love him a lot. But he got worked on the play that with Gibbs. He got worked.
Everybody.
So to me, the same play that Bobby got worked, the same way Bobby. And I don't blame. And I don't blame Jordan because I'm always just like I never blame Bobby. I'm like, yo. Bobby shouldn't be on Saquon. I mean, B. John Robinson. I'll use that example. No. Shouldn't be on B. John one-on-one. No. Just like this, Jordan McGee should not be on Gibbs. Like that is a different type of running back playing in the slot. That's a mismatch. That's not a. And Jordan can run. And Jordan can run.
He is faster.
So So and he got freaked. So I'm like, but he shouldn't have been on him. That should have been a safety. That shouldn't have been Jordan McGee on it. You needed somebody with true coverage skills to be checking a player like that. That to me is on coaching, not the player. But also to your point though, if we're gonna be fair, like Jordan got because of everybody's expectations, whatever. Jordan got to make that play. You got to take that job. You can't be given that job.
But that's what I'm saying. Like somebody just walk into your job, you're supposed to just get it because you're younger.
Yeah.
Now, please, I outwork you any day of the week.
Yeah.
What I say?
Yeah.
Now the objective is if you are paying attention, you need to be learning from me. You need to
Yes.
be paying attention to my
Agreed.
moves. You need to be seeing how I get down, and then you're supposed to take my job. I'm not
Facts.
gonna give it to you because you younger.
Yeah.
You're
That's
not
what it is.
outworking me.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Period.
saying.
And
That's
then
the-
as soon as the offense, whether you figured it doesn't matter. Because here's the thing: everybody hollering young guys, and guess what they just did? I'm gonna tell you what Seattle did. When I went back and watched that game, I said Seattle didn't even necessarily pick on the old guys. They said, "Oh, y'all keep talking about these young guys. We gonna work Tyler. We gonna work Mikey. We gonna work Trey. We gonna work Quan." Worked all of them.
Yeah, they worked everybody. Seattle worked everybody. That wasn't even
They
young or
worked
old.
everybody, but they picked. Boop, boop, boop. Y'all keep talking about these young guys. Y'all got watch this.
Yeah.
Bop, 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 and bop. See y'all later.
Yeah,
Okay.
They went
Two touchdowns in how long? So that's why I'm like, no. You cannot pick one piece of this puzzle that you don't like to try to make it fit your argument. You have to look at the whole picture and understand what's going on here.
No, I'm just saying nothing is given.
No,
like you gotta take it.
Yeah, you got to.
Nothing's given. You gotta take it. Yeah,
you know, because we've
given.
seen some regression. Let's go ahead and talk about Tyler Owens. We brought him up. He was the dark horse of training camp last year, was out here doing all great and wonderful things. Did not have that great of a preseason. They brought him back, and we saw him, you know, he's fast. He's doing something. We've seen him make some mistakes.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that they haven't been corrected, that's another conversation. What we talking about?
Yeah.
Coaching. Right? So this is, you know, and then if you got an issue with the coordinator, you want them to keep learning. So what they supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that case. So it's just you have to think of all of these things. And I would tell anybody any day of the week, Bobby Wagner put in too much work. When Jaden was coming in there early, he was meeting them there. Oh, but now we're going to play a game. We're going to beat you here. Oh, you coming in here? Are you beating me? I'll never forget it. He was like, he beat us here? It was him and Frankie. Oh, they beat us here? Watch this. He started getting there when Jaden got there. That's how the relationship organically started to grow. Now, if everybody else on the team knows that they were doing that, then why y'all didn't start coming early like that too?
Nah, this
This
thing
goes
is
back to the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, this old guy versus young guy right now, the entire system is getting worked. It ain't and age ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of that. Like
Not
I feel
now.
like
The age argument is played out. Let it rest. Let it go. That issue, that's not the issue.
Yeah, I think it's just bad. I think it's more than it. Like it ain't age. I personally think it's just bad.
No.
I mean, I'm gonna be bluntly honest with you. On the defensive side, I think it's just bad coaching. That's just personally. Right? That's how I personally feel. I think it's bad coaching.
And you got to say that because Mikey Sarenstill is not the same Mikey Sarenstill from last year. Let's keep it going. He got drafted last year. That's one of your young guys. Yeah. Okay, Frankie isn't necessarily older or anything like that. Not in my opinion. I don't think he's older.
Frankie's like it is still. He's not. Is he even 30 yet? Frankie's not even 30.
But guess what? He don't look like he did last year. I'm not talking about some of the veterans who do look like they did last year. That's why I'm like winning masked so much last year, including that these players look just like this last year, except for the ones I'm naming now. Mikey, Frankie, them didn't look like that.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't know why. We can dive a little bit deeper into. Hey, I know. After week 4, hey, is there any consideration? Mikey was last year. He's on the outside. You had him in a couple different spots. Any consideration to put him back to where he was last year?
I think just being stubborn. Like I don't know why they're just being stubborn with that one. I feel like that's something that someone's trying to prove themselves right. And Mikey didn't play bad today, so I'm not like saying that, but like. They're being stubborn with this one. Like they're being real stubborn with the Mikey, especially when Lattimore went down. I was like, all right, there's no excuses. You can just put Nike. You just slide. That's
Donna asked about that last week. I don't know where did she asked about that. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up. It's in one of these. But let me get to. I had to get on my Bobby Wagner rant, and then I had to get on my
go for it. Yeah,
I had to
go for
get on
it,
my
please.
veteran
Yeah.
rant because because remember at one point in time, I want to go back to this too. Remember,
ain't lying about this songbird, B.
Remember when everybody would say there was no leaders in the building? Now you got leaders in the building, and as soon as things don't go right, you're ready to get rid of the leaders. Don't do that.
That's a good point.
Don't do that. Because this team, I've been there, y'all. I have been in that building. Wole, you have been in that building. We can tell you there weren't any leaders in the building.
No, they weren't no leaders in that thing. Folks having a good time.
Not on the team, not on the roster. You got leaders on the roster. Let them do their best. But what my concern is, they should not be the only ones. If you get my drift from a usual.
No, I got you. I got you.
The only ones. And that's what I'm kind of feeling like where's the rest of the help? Who's helping the helpers? You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a crew of people, and it can't only feel good and look good when you're winning. This team did not experience a losing record last year. They didn't experience anything below 500. So this is the first time, and now I'm really saying who gonna help the leaders? They pouring into everybody else. They got to be tired. Who gonna help them get through this? I have yet to answer that question, and that's an issue.
Everybody on YouTube, hit the like button.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button. Do that right now. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead, Candi.
Yes. Yes. So here is a clip from, and I just got one clip from after DQ today.
Okay.
Season's different, and this team's different from last year's team. I just wonder, though, there's still a lot of guys that were here last year.
Yes.
And I just wonder how stunned you are that you all are so far away from where you were last season in terms of not just the results, but just the way you were playing.
Yeah, we definitely are. That's why, like the frustration, man. I get that, and it's not an excuse. We got to find a way to channel that frustration, like you saw at the end of the half, penalties and actions. We can't have it. It's all coming from that, from the frustration, the angst, that feeling, the darkness of it all. No one saw that, obviously, coming, DA, about where we're at. But I also told him, that's the chapter in. That's where we are, and we have to be the ones to get it out. I'm not saying it's going to go, this much better, but it has to be. And we're the ones to go do that. We got to be the ones to dig it out. And that's why I kind of just want everything I can into this game, this moment, and see what we can get better at. That's what we'll do.
I think there was a comment that came through about exactly what you just put up there. Exactly right.
This is facts.
It's facts.
This is facts. This is actually facts.
They were bad.
Exactly.
They weren't good. And you got to figure, when you look at some games, let's use the Detroit game, for example, you look at how much and how long, or even the Atlanta Falcons game, you got to look at
how long they had the ball. How
long the Commanders had the time of possession and had the football, and the other team still scored many.
Look at the Cincinnati game. The Monday night game. They held the ball for a long time. And
they held the ball for a long time. Joe Burrow still
was getting points. Yeah, facts. That's the truth.
Yeah. I was just it's just but the winning masked everything. They weren't good last year. The defense went good last year. That's why some people are Candi not really saying nothing about the defense, because they looked like this last year. Jaden just had everybody happy. Everybody was like, yeah, Terry, Jaden, Terry. Every time you go, Luke, they say Luke name. Then people with OZ, Jameson Crowder was there. Everybody, Zach, the security blanket. Okay, he'll drop a pass, but everybody they'll forget to drop pass, because the very next play he scored a touchdown.
A big play. Yeah, no, this is true. This is true. They mentioned
Jaden's first touchdown. Let's not forget, wasn't even to a receiver. It was to Trent Scott, who has been inactive. What do you know? So it's just winning cures everything, man. And I've even had to see it in myself, where there were moments where I had questions, or even I felt bad with asking a question after a win, and I would have to be like, so coach, listen, understood, y'all won. Okay, good. But a question. Because now I got to be the critical one when it's really?
Already.
But they respected it.
Yeah, you gotta
He's
ask
like-
them questions though.
he's
You gotta
like,
ask them questions.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, Candy, you know, it wasn't our brand of football, and we got to do this, and we got to do that, and we got to do this, and I'm like, okay, woo. So yeah, that's the kind of this is where they are when you don't have an offense that's clicking on all cylinders, because a lot of people of your key players are hurt.
Yeah, Shelly said I call BS. They had a ton of penalties from the beginning of the season and haven't cleaned it up. He just justified their frustration from I mean, he's definitely frustrated. He's been frustrated for he's been grumpy for the last couple. He's been
last week. We went through this. Like, hey man, I remember in New England. And I asked him that because this goes back to the preseason. Coach, you've been mad all season long, man.
He's been kind of grumpy, man. He's been kind of grumpy.
He's upset.
Yeah,
all season. I mean, and nobody really understood.
Yeah.
They nobody understood then why I was so concerned with that night. And I'm like, I'm around these people too much.
Mm-hmm. But that
is an indicator of their identity.
Yeah.
If the young guys are playing like that, if your depth playing like that, they're getting that from somewhere.
They get from some exactly. That's what I'm saying. They are cultivating that environment.
And that is why Coach was so angry that night.
Yeah.
That was a preseason game, and
it's a standard. You gotta play to a standard. You gotta play to a standard.
It's like, but they haven't been playing the standard. That was your use your clues moment.
Yeah, you're right.
You didn't have to wait till week 4.
Yeah,
you should have cleaned that up then.
Early. No, you're totally right, Candy.
That was something then.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been seeing it. I'm like, you've been mad all season.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Because that should have been a moment.
And I don't profess to know everything because I don't. But I'm like, well, what happened? Is it a time on task thing? Maybe it really is. Maybe, not having all the same people in the, now I'm like a school thing. But, maybe sometimes it's like it's like a group of, I don't want to call them a group of friends, but it's like, you have your same crew.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody in the crew is missing, the dynamic change a bit, or is it, you know what I mean? And so
Paul got a question for you. Are we including the coaching staff in not performing to the standard?
That's not something they've said publicly yet.
Okay.
They've made it clear that execution hasn't been a part of the standard, and the execution is on players.
Yeah.
So I think it has been abundantly clear that the players aren't doing it. But I have not yet heard.
According to the coaches, right? According to the coaches.
I have not heard that same level of accountability from a coach. Now I've heard.
Joe Witt said. But Joe Witt said last week it's on him though. I will give him credit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. I'll give him that. I'll say that. Last week he did.
Cliff has said something similar. I got to do better about this.
Yeah.
And you saw some things today. Now, I saw a comment earlier about them throwing the passes down the field. And we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, got better. Yeah.
Terry and Arnold got out the game because he had a concussion.
Yeah, that was I think Santiago said.
Yeah, I said it. I said, oh, Terry and Arnold out the game. They can take the shots downfield now. That's exactly what I said. They take the shots downfield because now I'm just looking like.
Yeah, I mean, it was still like Marcus was throwing him. That was up.
Marcus did all right. Marcus is fine.
I'm not mad. I again for a backup. I ain't mad at Marcus, man. I think he is good for a backup. They are pretty good about calling out their own faults. But the question is, are they blind to it? I got you. Yeah, I got you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like again. I mean, you have more clips because I can go on. You got more clips. Go ahead.
Now, some of these clips are from last week.
But,
Let's see, because we're gonna have to shut the stream down because I'm gonna fading a little bit.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, it's okay.
Let's see.
I gotta eat eventually too. I've been streaming all day without eating, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I've been,
all day without eating.
yeah, I'm
It's a
telling
live
you.
Bowie television recording, y'all. I was at the game. I'm Candi Waller. I'm here with Wole, the urban sports scene. You all are watching a live Bowie television recording. You guys, if you are in Prince George's County, Maryland, you've not cut your cable, you have Comcast, you can find us on channels 190, 190, and 1097, 1097. Make sure you are subscribed to both YouTube channels. Make sure you like, share this stream with your Washington Commanders loving family and friends. At some point, we are definitely going to get into draft and just all the things because that's where I'm at. And thank you,
Shelly. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Shelly.
Thank you so much. And see, here's the thing. Like, I see Paul's comment about offense isn't the issue.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the kind of person I am. Kind of person I am is if something was an issue before, then I'm not going to say it's an issue today.
Got you.
Defense was an issue last year.
Yeah.
The winning made everybody blind to it.
God, I know what you're saying.
They're completely blind to it.
So it's always been there. You're trying to say the offense.
It's always been there. The play calling, it's been there, you guys. Because that's why I would always get so frustrated. Well, you remember this? I would get so frustrated because I was like, now Jaden got to go in there and save everybody, like always.
It's always been like, it's always been. All right, I'm
not saying that it's an issue when you know, again, this goes back to understanding the complexity of your components. If you are going to keep this coordinator and keep these pieces, then you already understand that your offense is the one that has to dig you out of the hole.
Yeah. It's Paul. We did know that too. You're
you know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, then to me, the offense is the issue because you already have set up this system where they're the ones that got to dig you out of this hole.
Yeah, the standard. The offense is the standard. Like you have to.
Standard.
It's the standard.
You
have to.
Don't let the defensive-minded head coach make you think.
Yeah, your offense is your standard.
System is centered around a high-powered defense because it is not.
Yeah, got you. No, so your offense has it's the crown, right? It's like you're the king, but it's not always. When you wear the crown, you know what I'm saying? Expectations are high, and it may not be fair, but expectations are high. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I with you.
Right. You centered it around this, and I get it. Right, rightfully so. That and then beefing up your defensive line to stop the run.
Yeah, I could have told you this. Hey, Mazda, I could have told you this. It's wild, right? Cause I said this on our the stream before this. That the it's wild. Like everybody had questions about the secondary last year, right? And it was like the secondary was worse. And even I'm not the biggest St. Juice fan, but it is what it is. But I get what you're saying. And you think about it. Look at I'm gonna use this example because he's a starter on one of the better defenses, and he just had an interception today. Everyone, it's crazy. Emmanuel Forbes used to get dragged out here in these streets, in these commander streets. And he plays for the LA Rams, who has one of the better defenses in the NFL. Or they're going to be top 15. They're a top 15 for top 12 defense. And he had an interception today. He has 2 interceptions this year. He's a starting cornerback for them. It's kind of, but on this team, we made it seem like he couldn't play worth a lick. It's just amazing how, like, we're talking about secondary play, like, and now if you look at our secondary play, it hasn't been the best. So it's interesting, like, when you get to a different environment and you play with, a different staff or whatever. Yeah, Cody Barton too. Yeah, Paul, Cody Barton is another one too. But Cody Barton's the Ron Rivera regime, so I don't even want to get into that. But it's the same, but it's a valid point.
But there's other people there that are from that regime
and
they're not playing.
They're not playing. But I'm saying there are guys that we talk about that we talk about a lot. Like we talked about, like they were horrible players who were high draft picks and this, that, and the other. And they're, and they're playing well. That's all I'm saying. Like to your point, like because I'm agreeing with Mazdak, to be honest with you, that we talked about the secondary last year, but maybe it's not a personnel thing thoroughly. Maybe there's things they need to fix up schematically to be better at playing against these offenses in the NFL. Because obviously these offenses have found something within your defense to exploit pretty easily.
Easy. I mean, hey, listen, I'm gonna keep saying it.
Yeah.
Nobody knew them last year.
Yeah,
There
that
was no
too.
film on them.
That too.
Now it just looks like everybody watched the film.
Mm-hmm.
In Green Bay, when it was so hard for the offense to get going and score, many of the offensive players said that night they knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Really felt like we were out skating. It really felt like they knew what we were doing. Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm gonna keep looking at I'm always keep looking there because that is where you centered your focus.
Mm-hmm.
These last 2 years, that's where you centered your focus. Okay. That's where I can see it clearly. That is where you put your focus. Okay. Because if you look at it, even the points that were scored, other than the Raiders game, maybe it would have been enough to win a football game. 27 points was enough to win a football game.
Yeah.
But like some of these other games, I'm like, you could score. Oh, that's what happened.
Okay,
And a couple of times they did get you a turnover. You didn't do anything with the football. So, I mean, that's what I'm
Thanks, Mazda. Appreciate it.
And so, and thank you, Mazda.
Yeah, that's nice. That's so nice. Thank you. Appreciate that.
It was a really nice comment. Thank you. And so it just for me, that's where the emphasis goes because you knew that's where your muscle was.
Yeah.
You knew where your muscle was. And is it a difference between Mikey playing inside, outside? Is it? The one time you ended up having Marshawn impressed. Well, guess what? He got a pick. Other times I tell people all last year, you only heard Marshawn Lattimore's name twice in a negative way. Or
you mean last year?
Players last year.
Yeah, that was AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, and when he was matched up against Mike Evans in the wild card round. And guess what happened in that round? As soon as things got hot between he and Mike Evans scored their first touchdown, they moved him.
I like this one from Paul. Defense had a motto, ball is life, but the defense didn't have. That's a team thing, right?
Exactly. That was
overall
a team thing because it was talking about protecting the football.
Mm-hmm.
The ball is life. Don't drop the football. Mm-hmm. So it was talking about no fumbles.
Yeah.
Protecting the football.
So it's an offensive thing? It's an offensive thing?
And then from a defense perspective, it was takeaways.
Got you. Okay.
We all knew that the takeaway goal was 3, and they never even did that, not even close until the divisional round.
So they didn't stay true to the defensive side of the motto. I guess that's what Paul's trying to say.
They didn't stay clear to the offensive side either.
Oh, they're not staying. Oh, you know what? They're not staying true to it as a team.
They're not staying true to it at all. That's why I asked about the mantras.
Yeah.
I asked about the mantras for a reason because that's a team mantra. That's not just a defense. No. It was one, you're supposed to protect the football.
Agreed, June.
Right? Yeah. You don't give away, you don't get the ball on the ground that's life.
That's life, yeah.
Right? Yeah. You gotta protect your life, protect the football. I've heard that so many times. And then with them, it's the takeaways. Get the ball. The ball is life. Keep the ball, protect the ball, get the ball. There was a team mantra. So once you saw interceptions, fumbles, they didn't get takeaways last year. And so that's like, you know what I mean? No, the difference is you see more not following the ball is life from an offense perspective. You know what I mean? Than the defense perspective because they weren't getting turnovers last year either.
Ball is life.
You know what I mean?
Ball is life.
And so that's why I'm like, hey, and we got to also remember, I'm going to tell you, that NFC championship run in year 1, it fooled a lot of people, including themselves.
Yeah, it's fool's gold. We talked about, June TV. Yeah, we talked about,
nothing.
Traylon.
It doesn't matter.
Can't even deny it. I like Traylon. So what you just
no. I'm talking about this Jeremy Chin, Dante Fowler.
Got you.
The replacements are better. They're on the IR.
You think? Or you think? I don't know. You think they're better than Chin? I like Chin.
Will Harris, absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie. Personally, I'll take Chin over Will Harris. That's me though. I would. He's younger. He's younger too. I like Chin because he's younger.
I like his playmaking ability. and his ability to effectively an excellent communicator.
But I could. This is what I would say. This is what I would. This is only reason I asked because he played. It's hard. Okay, this is.
I thought he was phenomenal, but now that
I think he was good too. No, I think it's good. I just want to say this though. I want to say this much. Just this part. I think it's all right. This is the only thing I will say to this. I think it's real incomplete at the moment for me to judge a Will Harris compared
because he got hurt. Yeah, because he got
hurt early, and then the games that he played too. Like the 2 games that he really looked good in were the 2 games that I would say, and they all because at Green Bay they all look bad. Other than Amos, I think Trey looked good. Trey looked good against Green Bay,
right?
But you got the Giants, whose quarterback was
Russell Wilson.
There you go. And then Geno Smith. So I was like, so it's like the body
Geno Smith game.
Yeah, so the body of work to me isn't like well, and I guess it's to be fair for me, like. Because I didn't go into the season last year like being in love with Jeremy Chin, and then last year he built so much equity. Yeah, and he built so much equity. So so that's why I would go with Chin.
Maybe the same. And then I mean Dante Fowler. I mean his replacement was Dietrich Wise, and Dietrich got hurt in Green Bay. So it's like, and truth be told, Dante been dealing with a lot of injuries this year, so he's been kind of banged up.
Will Hurst didn't play against Atlanta, Santiago.
No,
he didn't play against. He got injured in the Raiders game, right?
He got injured in the Raiders game. He did.
Yeah, he didn't play against them. Yeah, so I wouldn't. Yeah, to be real with you, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Because that's the game that I realized how much they missed him. I said, "Oh dear God."
The Raiders game. Yeah, but I mean, I just liked how he. I just liked the way.
That was definitely like,
yeah. But that's just me. That's me personally.
From a tackling perspective. Right, the physicality of Jeremy Chin.
He did everything, man.
Jeremy Chin was like he wasn't gonna miss some of these tackles,
and he was great coverage against tight ends. He was awesome against tight ends. I mean, his rating guarding tight ends were really good.
Amazing. Yeah, he tackling. He had gotten it, especially around like this time of year last year.
Yeah. He turned up.
He turned
up. Sorry, he turned up, man.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's week 10. Y'all just realizing y'all not this good. I wish somebody would ask me because I would have told you. But I mean, they do talk to me about things, but like, you know, I ain't gonna be like,
you can't be.
I'm gonna ask some questions, and then some of them know what I'm saying when I'm asking questions. Or we're talking, and it's just like.
Come on, Candy. You can't be look, you ain't the ops, Candy. So you can't be telling them everything. You can't be telling folks everything. You ain't the ops, man. You ain't the ops, Candy. You ain't the ops. All right. Before we get to your clips, one more question. He says, so do you all think an overhaul is coming in terms of the roster, or more of a coaching overhaul?
So here's a challenge with this, right? I think it should be a coaching overhaul, but I think it'll be a player overhaul. And then what does that do? Because it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to you.
So if I only take into consideration, I'm gonna go get some younger players.
Yeah.
But if you're still not using them correctly, then hey, you
might still doing the same thing.
Get out of my office. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like,
I agree with that. I agree with the whole thought process.
Came first, the chicken or the egg, and I think that first year. NFC championships, unexpected NFC championship surge. Now has everybody like, oh, this is an extreme regression.
Yes.
And it's a regression every week. Like they look worse every week.
Every week they look bad.
The offense did do better today.
Yeah.
And I might have felt it's something about after halftime that I'm just like, y'all just come back out here and you really just checked out. You just really it's something after halftime that they
not. I don't know what the halftime adjustments ain't hitting like they were last year.
Yeah, other teams make them.
Yeah, it ain't hitting.
And yeah.
So you got clips. We'll make sure.
I don't even know who we showing. Oh. Here's another one. Okay,
let me. This got super chat too. Got super chat from Paul.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Paul. Let's appreciate super chat, my guy. If we lose to the Dolphins in the same fashion, I just feel Dan is on the table with his 180. With this 180.
Too many players, and if you're talking player overhaul, the last thing you need is to overhaul the.
I don't think Dan. I think Dan is cool. I ain't worried about that.
The last person you need is the overhaul the head coach that everybody wants to play for.
I think Dan. The only thing I think Dan's going to make moves. He's going to
He
adjust
might make
properly.
moves 'cause people,
Moves.
they not. I'm
Yeah,
not getting anybody to for these
yeah.
courses. No,
I got you. Nah, I
head
think.
coach. Yes,
Yeah.
you need that attraction.
Yes.
You
No, I
need
agree with you.
that attraction. You need that attraction. He's an attraction.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you, Candy. I
He's
agree.
part of the reason why people want to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, this is so for Candy might have to put a headset on. Listen, from your lips to God's ears. I'm not saying that I'm applying for a job because I'm not. However, I definitely am often like, let me run something by you real quick. Just let me know if this makes sense to you. Or when you think the same thing, because listen, my culture might be a little different though. But it's a little different. It's probably a lot different. Okay. I don't even know if I want to find this one clip because Donna had asked Coach about Mikey and I don't know. Let me just pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just pick one and see what happens. Some of these are really long. Some are big ones.
Dan, what is the film showing you about Mikey this season?
Yeah, I would say there's been up and down moments, meaning the playmaker, the interceptions I saw at LA and the last couple of weeks. So the ball hawking mindset, which I love. There's also been a couple of plays of over trying, to make those plays, and that's kind of part of the process. You don't like to go through that, but when you're capable of making plays, well, I'll make some more, and I'll make a few more, and then all of a sudden, that's not the one that you need to take a chance on. In the basketball world, I'm not going to force this shot. That's what sometimes happens to a ball player who has the skills to go do that. And I think there's been some examples of that this year. And I'm not surprised because he's a competitor and wants to help and make plays. And so part of my training with the guys and talking to them, I want them to feel backs against the wall and fight for that. But I don't want them to over-try to make things up, to go try to win. Like the attitude, the mindset, that's good, but not at the expense of veering off course to do something that could have other consequences. And he has to learn that, I would say, but he's not alone in that. That's, everybody, when you're fight like hell, you want to make a play for the team, you want to change the course of things, and so it's actually when you need to be the most disciplined. And those are good, hard lessons, but ones that I'm certain that he's learned too.
What does he have to lean into as a second-year player who has this? It's a natural kind of progression. There's tape on you now. There's ways to attack you now. And what does he have to lean into to kind of get through those rough patches when it doesn't go the way he would like it to go?
Yeah, I think you have to lean into the discipline and the technique, because when you play with that and you have that and you can lean on that, man, then you're good, David, because now – I know I can play the technique and play it when you're maybe I'm off, I'm back, I want to take a shot, then you're not out of the technique. So I think there's like a real discipline that has to take place. And as you're going through, sometimes I feel like he's older than going into the second year, but some of those players that have more years, okay, that's not the time. That's not the place to go take your shot. He's still learning that. And I know that he'll learn from this. A sharp guy, but we can't have ones where you can and where you can't. So the discipline, I would say, is the biggest factor for a ball player who's a playmaker, because they know they can make the next one and make the next one. And so I imagine that's much the same conversation, which the right shot when you've covered that. So it's for the guys that aren't capable of making some of those, they are probably more disciplined in sometimes, because I can't make that play all the way over there, where sometimes a player thinks they can.
I'm glad I picked that one. Let me stop being funny.
Yeah,
I knew
that's
that was
good.
what I was picking because listen, I've been asking them to Mikey saying we're still trying since week 4. I'm not. You know what? I hope you all are okay with the fact that I am not. As long as this season is going on, I am not going to let week 4 go. I'm gonna let it go. Okay. So if you get tired of hearing me talk about that Atlanta Falcons game, I just, if you're tired of me talking about it, I suggest you take a nap.
It was nasty
Wake
word.
up and wake up energized, because week 4, I said, oh dear God, if this is what this is going to be for the rest of this haul, this is going to not be good. We're all in big trouble. We're all in very, very big trouble. This is dangerous. This is a bad place to be in right now. And it didn't change.
Paul said,
LA was pretty good. They did when they, and let me say this real quick, and we're gonna go to Paul's comment.
Yeah.
You saw them get pressure on Jared Goff, which wasn't consistent, but when you saw it, you see what can happen.
Yeah,
It disrupts the play, it disrupts things, but it's just never consistent.
Yep, not at all. Not at all. Paul said, use your clues. So Joe was talking about Mikey when he said players are playing hero ball.
He was one of the players.
I mean, I'm sure.
One of the
I'm sure.
side shade, but that was one of them.
Exactly.
I did ask Coach Quinn a question about the quarterback room and just how they've been handling the up and
Go for it.
is and I will play that one because I think that was a good one. Play another question that I asked him, and then we're going to really talk about that because I think that's important. And then we probably got to shut this down, y'all.
Yeah,
because I did pack, but I got to get my mind.
You gotta get you situated, and I gotta eat, and then I gotta go ahead.
And some people are like, "You gonna still go to Madrid?" I mean, what?
Why wouldn't you go to Madrid? It's a job.
Like what?
Why wouldn't you? It's a job.
It's over to sit home and do what?
And sulk over. No,
I watched. For me, right? In 8 years in this industry, covering this team on site, we watched a bad football.
Some horrible football.
I'm not about to let them spoil me with a good time just for 1 year.
I know that's right.
I am resilient, okay? I am resilient. I will deal with this.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I will figure this out. Trust me, because I tapped out in 7 and guess what? I'm not even walking off anymore. But week 7, I had to go walking off because I said, "Oh, here we are." But I have gotten asked, "It's still going," and I'm like, I'm working.
Hey, working. You should be going.
And I've never been to Spain. If you all have been to Madrid or have been Spain, drop some recommendations in the chat too. Let's make this kind of fun. Drop some recommendations in the chat.
Yeah.
But while we're playing these clips are important.
Yeah.
How have you seen the quarterback room overall just handle the change due to the injuries? 1 week is Jaden and it's Marcus. So how have you just seen them all handle
I think the whole team, just continuity is probably the hardest part, Candi, as you're going through things. And so how can they work with one another to help get that continuity? Sometimes at the position, the other receivers helping a new receiver. The quarterbacks, bringing people together. And so that's kind of what I was referring to of like some groups together to watch practice, some groups, not separate where that's a normal thing where you can really hone in on the technique. No, I also want to discuss it with these 2 or 3 groups together. So that's what you do. You figure it out, together. And the quarterback room is one of our strongest players, leadership, coaching. So they spend the most time together just by nature of the position. There's the early mornings, there's the extra time, which like the job requires what it requires, that's the job. And so the fact that they're able to spend a lot of good time together helps be honest with one another, and good performances, bad performances, things we need to do more of, coaching and playing. So it's a good group. It really is in that room specifically.
So I just wanted to ask because I know it was a lot of, it's just a lot of movement, right?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of movement. And last year, we saw Marcus come in for moments, when Jaden got hurt, was at the Carolina game, right? And then at the end of the season, but we also saw Marcus's leadership. I will never forget that moment, right? At that game.
Yeah. That was awesome, man.
But going back to this defense was like that last year when Jaden was exhausted. He was exhausted. Oh my God, he was so winded. He was tired, and that was he was exhausted trying to win that football game. They wore him out. And Marcus had to tell him to get up. Get up. Because he already knew. Get up. He knew what it was. but you saw they have a lot of that around there, a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
You see the players doing that for one another a lot. So then we're going to go to my next question to Coach, and this was a heavy one. And let me also be very. I asked a question very similar to this
And Paul's giving you flowers too for your clip.
last year. Because they tell us what the issue is. Keyword, continuity, consistency, right? Is but I even take continuity in another way, in another leap with that, Paul. I love that because it becomes a continuity from the perspective of what did you do last year that worked? And what but what needs to be upped a level up because of your schedule. You're not playing the Browns and the Panthers, right? This season. You're not playing the Titans this season. You know your division games, right? But like this one is harder. It's much harder. And so this is probably gonna be my last clip for tonight. And thank y'all for hanging out after the game. I know everybody's ticked off.
They are.
I hope this has helped somewhat. Like, thumbs up, heart.
Yeah, all that stuff.
All the things.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, I feel all that stuff.
Live Bowie television recording, but I can't do it because I'll be traveling Monday evening. So thank you all for hanging out. And thank you, Wole, for being with my idea of, can you do this Sunday?
Come on, man.
So I appreciate you.
Man. We cool, man. We cool, man. You already know.
Because you be hanging with me and I'll be like, all right, Wole, I don't know what I'm going to say. And you knew I was kind of relaxed, or maybe I was secretly stressed and didn't realize it. Cussed on the show earlier with my mother. I was like, oh, God.
Earlier,
I'm just trying to drink this peppermint tea.
On the pregame, that was hilarious. That was funny.
All right, so let me show this clip.
That was funny.
This one definitely was a little heavy.
Yeah.
This question that I asked Coach Quinn.
Hey, Coach, as you just mentioned to Nikki, this is a tough period for you all. So how are you all just managing the tough conversations without fracturing the brotherhood?
Yeah. Good news, I guess, Candi, on some things, like tough conversations are part of it. But it also doesn't mean you have to come at somebody, in a way that, is harder than it has to be. But you do have to have those conversations about a performance, a technique, a mindset. Doesn't make the player, they're not happy, or a coach happy, but how they respond, that's really what you're looking for. If somebody flies off the handle or goes, sideways about things, then that's probably a bigger problem. So like that disappointment, like, okay, I'm going to show you, that's a good conversation in my opinion, because like all of us are here to win and perform. And if something's not meeting a standard that we like, you have to have those tough conversations, as you said. But because we have them on regular basis, doesn't mean, it's, boy, he's mad now, like I have tough conversations sometimes after wins. Tough conversation after a practice to say, what the hell was that? And watch the tape or show an example. But I don't try to, do it in a way that's ever demeaning or that, but like, this is what the performance shows. This is what we have to do. And then the last piece of that, and this is the plan to go fix it. This is the technique. This is the thing I want you to work on. This is the skill, as opposed to just, saying demoted or this or that, like, and here's what we need to go do. So I think if you give that kind of feedback, and let the player also, or the person that you're dealing with, have their say too, then you come to some solutions together. So, okay, this is what you want to see. How do I go figure out how to do that?
Yeah. I had asked a similar question last year after a 3-game losing streak about taking corrective action without fracturing the brotherhood. But, this year, tough is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It definitely is, yeah.
And that 3-game losing streak last year does not look like this losing streak right here at all, for several different reasons, yet again.
False question.
And so I think it's interesting to bring up before we, before we close out. I don't know if you all saw the story that Adam Schefter put out there that just this week, Dan Campbell took over the offensive play calling from his first year offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
If we go all the way back to week 7, I'm never going to let it go. Week 4, week 7. Week 4 against the Falcons, week 7 against the Cowboys. When I asked Coach Quinn about taking over play calling, did he ever think, or did he have a moment where he considered it? Let me tell you something. Being in this role, I have the opportunity to talk to a variety of people across the NFL. I don't only stay here, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And you all know, if you subscribe to Bowie TV and of course you watch Urban Sports Scene, we also cover the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Karita Parks leads that effort and covers the Baltimore Ravens. So it these things happen when things aren't going well or things aren't going up to the standard, right? And so I wasn't like, was there a moment where you considered it, right? The Detroit Lions should just come off. Not only was this like the revenge tour, which the Commanders are now 0-3 in. The revenge tour, they lost.
Yeah.
There are no more revenge tours. We ain't doing no more revenge tours. Because the revenge tour is over, and they didn't win any of them. Not one revenge tour. Now that's deep. Now that's deep.
Wow.
You really think about that? That is
that cut.
That Atlanta Falcons overtime win last year to get, you got into the playoffs.
And look at Atlanta now.
And you know what? They lost to the Colts today, but they were very competitive. They played
really well. They did, but
they played really well.
I'm looking at their record, and they're like they're 3-6.
Well, I think they're 3-6 like the Commanders, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just saying, like, but to your point, though,
last year I thought they were similar. I said, this is a tough matchup. These are kind of similar.
Yeah.
And then the Bears.
They're like 5. They're 6-3.
They look like they on some hero time. That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole different conversation.
That's right. And then what happened today against the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions also were coming off a tough loss at home within their division against Minnesota.
Yep.
Dan Campbell on a different type of time.
Yeah. He don't waste no time. He ain't wasting
no
time.
Into the story, it says, that he told his first-year offensive coordinator, like, hey, I need you, but this is something that I think I want to do. So that doesn't mean that the collaboration and all that doesn't still happen, right?
It's a good point. It's a good, yeah.
It just means, hey, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I asked the question in week 7,
and
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think.
I asked.
I know.
7.
I know.
What you gonna do? Have you considered it? Have you thought about it?
I mean, you think somebody's gonna ask if well?
What does it mean? I mean, you could ask it now, but what difference does it make now?
You're gonna be like, when do they fly to Madrid?
Tomorrow.
They fly tomorrow, so there's no presser tomorrow.
Okay,
I'm making sure. I make sure y'all gonna.
Yeah, pressers at 3:30, but I'm flying at that time.
You're flying, so you're gonna be out. You're gonna be gone by that time.
I actually leave at 3:30. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we need to know the real. We just need to know the real one was going to ask the question. We want to know the real one was going to be around and ask the follow up. That's what I was getting to. I ain't gonna lie. The real one. When I mention real one, I mean you. Who's going to ask the follow up question to the question that you asked prior?
Maybe somebody watching will ask.
They gonna steal your question.
Yeah, that was shady. Ooh.
Who goes to action? Action was taken to action. Thank you.
I mean,
action was taken to prevent a possible slide. Give me your pass, Candi.
I don't know, but it's hey. But what I'm saying is, and anyone who knows me, and I always hope and talk to them offline. They know I come in peace and in love, care, and concern, trying to do my job well. That's all, But the thing about it is, it's like that's not an unknown thing in the NFL.
Yeah,
it's not an unknown thing. is more common than people realize. And that's one of the reasons why, Wole and I talked about this. Lake had given me some advice Lake Lewis had given me some advice when I first joined this industry. That was 8 years ago. He said, you got to get rid of all your fandom. I grew up in this area. So of course,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hide that. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of everything over here. I grew up in the Dallas Cowboys household, funny enough. I don't know if everybody knows that about me. So fun fact, grew up in the Dallas Cowboys household. All I had to say was take me to a football game. They couldn't. All right, I know. So down the street and watch these people. And so nearby, cool. And we do everything else. You know what I'm saying? So, but I made a decision at that time, and because I love watching all sports, everything across the league, all the things, and I had grown to really like players versus teams anyway. Yeah. It was easy for me to make that transition. Does that make sense? Because I was into just watching all of it, because I had learned early on that if I watch just this team in this area, I won't know what else is going on.
True.
I won't know what the trends are. I won't know what's happening. I don't know. So with that being said, I mean, it's corrective action, and things can happen without people getting fired, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? You can jump in a little bit more, in a more direct way, right? And that is because I'm just going to believe what you told me. Anyway, time, or all the stuff, whatever, ball is life. Okay. Yeah. Who's the final decision maker on this one? And what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is happening here? And no, Joe Witt did not. That is not what I said.
No, he said because Dan Campbell was a first-time play caller. He thinks Dan. No, did Dan call him? No. Well, no. Well, he was a tight end coach in New Orleans. I'm trying to really remember his coaching.
He's no first-time play caller. No way.
I don't know if he called play.
No, he's absolutely not.
That's a good question. Has he been an offensive coordinator? I don't know if he's been.
I don't be an offensive coordinator, but he ain't been no first-time play caller. Let me be clear on that.
Well, he's talking about because the offensive coordinator. Let me try. Is he?
The current offensive coordinator for the Lions is his first year.
Yeah, John. Yeah, Morton. Yeah.
Right, but Dan Campbell took those responsibilities.
From him. Yeah.
He said, I still need you. So it's like they work together.
Okay, they work together. Okay.
I got you. Play caller for this game.
Got you.
Last week against the Minnesota Vikings, they lost, and it was quite low scoring for the Detroit Lions. I guess maybe, Dan Campbell's like, I want to see more from my offense. I know who's out there. I want to see more. And so he took over those play calling responsibilities this week from offense. And he,
Oh, no. He's never been a.
I don't think he's been a coordinator, but
no, he's never been a coordinator.
Let me also say this.
He's a smart coach, though. He's an offensive coach, though. He is an offensive
coach.
He's a tight ends coach, so he knows the offense.
He knows offenses. And let's be clear.
And he's been under Sean Payton, so he knows enough.
And he knew what type he was ready for, whatever type of time, because
he's a good coach.
The Commanders. And yes, it was Marcus Mariota, but he said, I guess he figured, hey, I don't care who it is, we got to be ready to roll on these people, because we weren't ready to roll on them in the division round. They ran the scoreboard up on us. So he was going to bring everything. He was going to bring his muscle. They were the number 1 seed last year and lost at home. I know that hurt.
It was petty. They was petty against us today. They really were. They went for 2 when they didn't need to go for 2. They were really nasty. Yeah, you could tell they were petty. You could tell they was on their get back. You could tell. No, they were on their get back for real.
Oh, they were absolutely on their get back. I gave everybody the heads up in the pregame. Like, you know what, you guys, hey, listen, revenge games are really serious.
No, it was serious for them though. It was, when they went for 2, I was like, why y'all going for 2 again? And I was like, oh yeah, y'all don't get back. I get it. Could. Yeah, and because they could though. No, it's a fact. Because they could. They could.
And so I wanted to, share that story and make sure you all read up on it, because I'm not asking questions because they're not real questions. I have real questions, and I'm doing stories, and I'm doing analysis, and so these are important. It's a different way that I do journalism and I do storytelling, but it matters.
No, it does matter.
So I hope you all enjoyed the Use Your Clues and the opportunity to dissect some of these questions. And when you see things happening, in the background context is always helpful as well. It's helpful for myself So yeah. And so play call, a head coach taking over play calling responsibilities is not.
Yeah, they should be able to. They should be able to do that. They should be able to do that. So, especially, I mean,
Yeah, you know.
yeah, especially you got a rookie. I'm sure he was in those rooms with Ben Johnson and everything. He's probably more inept to do it than say.
Not to be funny, if you watch film and the defense looks eerily similar to what you saw in the divisional round.
Yeah. Let me do it.
And they down a couple players.
Yeah, let me do it. Yeah, that's true. Let me do it. It would be crazy. It would be crazy to demote with the secondary coach. He's apparently underpowered.
You would just use him as an assistant.
Yeah, assistant coach. Yeah. And truth be told, I think maybe some people are meant to be position coaches too. He'd probably be a better defense. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is like, before we end this stream, I will say this. I mean, I wouldn't mind after the season ends, they hire Al Harris to be like their defensive coordinator, because he coached with Dan in Dallas, and that's who Dan really wanted. But Dallas tried to keep him anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised. Just saying.
Well, where's Al Harris? Al Harris went to Chicago, right?
She's Chicago. Yeah, he's in Chicago.
You know, somebody actually younger threw this name out to me. Gosh, why do I not know his name? Last name Wilson, Denard Wilson. He's from here. Coach Wilson.
Who is he? Who's he with?
He was with the Ravens.
Okay.
The Jets. He was with the Ravens, and he's with the Titans now.
I'm not familiar with him. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a younger coach. He gotta be a younger coach, because I don't think I've heard of him. He gotta be a younger coach. Yeah, I haven't heard of him. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna be some guys. I know that for a fact. It may not be the obvious guy, but it'll be some guys. It'll be some guys he's very comfortable with. That I do know, who runs his system.
Who?
Oh, Dan Quincy. It's gonna be a Dan Quincy dude. Yeah, it's got to be.
We'll talk about somebody that another day.
Yeah. I'm good, Candi. I'm good on this.
All I do is look at the schedule. Who was on the schedule next year? Not the dates, because we know the dates will come up, but who is on the schedule actually for the next 3 years? How long is out? Who's on the schedule? I mean, they change, they change coordinators and stuff every year. We know that.
Yeah. Oh, DC, he's a defensive coordinator for the Titans. Okay.
But I definitely.
Oh, yeah, he is good. Titans do have a good defense. That is true.
Yes.
They do have a good defense. That's true.
You need that, or
that's a good one. I didn't think about it.
On the whole list today. So somebody gave me that name, but oh God, why can I not?
Yeah.
It's been a long day. But Mike McDonald probably would with his defense in Seattle.
So he's trying somebody on his staff, on his staff.
Nobody else.
But that's a whole different. That's not a Dan Quinn system, though. I don't know Dan. That's a Dan. It's not a Dan.
This is another thing that I think that people, everyone would need to consider, and this is something that I share with people in all walks of life, anywhere, is sometimes you got to do something different. You got to look at the current trend, where things are headed, where they're going.
This is true.
You need to map to that.
This is true.
Because you as the head coach, you got the culture on lock. People love you. They want to come play for you. They want to do all of that. You got to get your staff, your coordinators, when it comes to the scheming and the play, you get them ready.
Yeah. No, you're right.
To play, right? You get them ready to play, but the scheming and the play calling, you have to be able to get it in a modern way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Candi, Coach Spags. Now Spags is older. Spags is older, but
Spags ain't leaving though. He's not
leaving. But I'm saying somebody who has worked with him and
under his staff. Got you. I get you saying
the importance of having to be a unique and different system every year.
Oh, you want somebody under him? I got you.
It has to be something different every year. Yeah, Spags ain't going nowhere.
Got you.
Unless he becomes a head coach one day, he's not going anywhere.
He don't even want to be a head coach no more.
I don't think so. Right? He's
done with that.
It's working.
He done with that.
Sometimes I tell people that all the time. You in the coordinator role is good. You consistently making the playoffs, consistently making the Super Bowl. Why you want to leave?
But he don't. He said it though. Like after his stint with the Giants head coach, he was like, And
being a head coach is hard. Yeah, oh my gosh! Because I know a couple of weeks ago, I'm kind of not in this space anymore. But for a little bit there, I was like, man, if I feel like this, what in the world does Dan Quinn feel like? Because my God, I'm confused. I
He's
see these
definitely.
people on game day, and I'm like on the field on game day. I'm
Oh,
like,
he's definitely feeling it. I
I,
I see this presser. I see it. I see it.
I be looking like, what
Yeah,
is
I see it.
happening?
I
And
see this.
so, yeah, I can only imagine. But I think it's you got the culture. I think there's pieces there. There's like a piece here, there, But I think they surge so fast in year one. It just I think the hard, the hard reality of, well, what happens if somebody gets hurt didn't really hit until this year.
Mhm.
And
Nah.
understanding, that aspect of it. And I just think that, they didn't realize just how high they had set their own bar. And maybe they weren't all the way there. They weren't there yet.
Yeah, they ain't
And
there yet. They definitely ain't. And
they were on the high. And I get it, because the high
Mhm.
was dope. It was dope.
Well, they got it. They better be down bottom, and now
Yeah, they
in like
down on the
levels
bottom. Now, bottom.
down bottom. They better be down bottom, and now trying to aspire to get back up there. But they got to keep a level head now, knowing where they're at, and they got to understand where they're at. Like
Because
understand
I'm
where
not
they're
convinced. I had told people before the Dolphins beat the Bills today, I was like, I'm not convinced that the Commanders are going to beat the Dolphins. What make you think that?
Who think gonna beat the Dolphins? I think they're the underdogs. They're gonna lose. They're not favorites against the Dolphins. They should lose. The Dolphins just beat the Buffalo Bills. What we doing here? They just beat the Buffalo Bills and beat them handily too, might I say. Like the Dolphins are way more. The Dolphins should feel confident coming into this game compared to what Washington's at.
Absolutely.
That I will say. All right, Candi, I think we can definitely we can close the stream. I'm tired.
You guys, thank you all for hanging out with us.
Okay, I'll let you answer. You can answer this question. This is a fair question. Who do you think is to blame for the downfall? The season
I don't
downfall.
know. I mean, the easy answer is like it's a lot of blame that can go down. I don't think
I think you could disperse it.
You can disperse it everywhere. The injuries have it's just.
You can go as far as what you said earlier, lack of depth, and you can put that on AP. You can put that on coaching,
It's a
certain
lot.
coaching.
And I mean,
a lot.
hey, and player execution has been an issue.
Player execution too. That too, definitely.
They've been doing everything right on that field. They have.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit of everything.
There's some things about just blown coverages and missed tackles that I just can't. Drop passes, blown coverages, and missed tackles, I have no excuse for. I can't come up with something on the why on that.
Yeah. I think it's a makeup of everything. I think honestly, there is a recipe for being a bad team. And Washington kind of fits that. They fit the recipe for a bad team.
So. Yeah, they fit the recipe. It's a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And I honestly don't think corrective action has happened in a prompt enough manner.
Agreed.
Earlier in the season.
I think
it's like when in the Metro. I would say when you see something, you say something. And I mean, Coach Quinn did say that, but I it's not in the resonating way.
Yeah.
I don't know if those conversations are being dispersed in a way that it's like a player or a coach coordinator. I'm not sure.
And sometimes you got to tackle a situation early in the process, therefore it doesn't get worse. So by the time, it's really fixable to create a trend. But if you do it late enough, if you do it later, then it's pretty much it won't help the situation. You can make a change, but it probably won't help the situation because now it's too late. It's at a point that it's too late. You know what I mean?
I want to say the two most important injuries, Jaden and Terry.
Yeah, that's it. By far.
Those two.
By far.
Those two. I'm like those are like the last two people you want to see hurt. You want to see anybody hurt, but they meant so much to everything they did last year. And they mean so much in the building, not having those two. And I don't even think I had to sit and think. I'm like, has Jaden and Terry even played together this season? I mean, I guess the first two games.
A game and a half?
Yeah, a game and a half.
Yeah, because Murray.
Marcus played week 3 against
the Raiders game was 2, right? It's the third game.
That was the third game.
So he played 2 games.
Yeah.
Two games
and then
and a half.
Terry went out.
2 games and a half. Yeah, 2 games and a half.
And then when Jaden came back, Terry was out.
Yeah. Well, 2 games. She's only 2 games.
And
Sorry.
then when Terry came back, Jaden was out.
Yeah, it's only 2 games. Only half. They play 2 games. Dang, that's wild. 2 games together. And
when we all know, again, building off of last year, they didn't even get hot until week 3. So they never had their week 3.
Dang.
They never had their week 3.
I mean,
so,
we'll see how it happens. We'll see what happens after.
And you know what's wild about this? There's a lot of season left.
I mean, I ain't trying to think about that, Candy.
How many more of these we got?
Can't nobody trying to worry about that many games of bad football. A bad football, Candy. Come on, man. I don't got time. Look. I mean, hopefully it gets better. Let me not be so negative, but like, if it's trending this way, Candy.
I don't know. What we going to Europe, we going to Spain, you gonna spend some time together. What y'all gonna do? I mean, I don't know. Let me you know what I mean? I mean, you know, maybe it's like conflict management or conflict resolution. I'm not saying that there is any conflict, let me be clear, but maybe it's like that same like team building exercise of like, you know.
I always feel like when, I mean, I don't know if a trip's gonna do it. I don't know that type of trip's gonna do it for them, but I feel like when it's good, like usually that happens like the way they're getting beat, I would have thought maybe after the first 2 times they would have that type of like, you know, that kumbaya moment where we all look at each other, maybe have like a players only meeting in somebody's house. Now I'm sure this happened. I'm sure they did players only. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. When you get beat like this, you're doing a players only meeting. Yep. I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
Got it.
So if it ain't happened now, I don't know if a trip from Spain gonna make it any better.
You know, the Chargers game seems like it was so far away.
It was. That was some good football. Yeah.
That was the first time I said
that was Commanders football.
I know these people.
Yeah, that was Commanders football.
And I'm happy to see each and every one of them. These are the people that I cover.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back. Like everything, like that Friday practice. I talked to you about this a lot. I was like, yo, that Friday practice was dope. Yeah. Like, I mean, and it could have been because we were at the Coliseum and because I'm a sports nerd. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh yeah. And the weather was like really nice and the music was good and everybody was all happy. And it was like cool. In the game, I feel like, and this is probably gonna be crazy, but I feel like that was the only game that I felt like I recognize that's them.
Yeah, they haven't been them they haven't been that team in a long time.
That's them. Like here we go. Like that's them. That's the glow. That's the swag. Like they got it. They ready to play. They, you know, and I mean I always feel like they're ready to play, but it's just a different. I know the vibes because I was around. You know, you be around.
They weren't ready to play today, Candy.
I wasn't down there. You know, on home games I don't go to.
Oh yeah.
I see people when they come in.
Got you. No,
if they coming in the same time I'm coming.
Got you. No,
I might stay down there for a little bit. Now I did see much more of them for the Raiders game. Because to be perfectly fair and transparent with you all, it's okay. I went to go see Jeremy Chin because he was a dope person. Yeah, he's dope. So yeah, so I get to go see him. And
you saw Max Crosby at the same time.
Yep. See, I've been trying to leave that part out. But over there for one thing, and you come seeing another, and I was just like, I get that.
You said Joe, like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So James.
So I caught vibes that day because I was like, I saw more of them that day because I was just around.
Got you.
But LA was that's the only day that the only game and weekend that I can honestly say like. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, now I do gotta go.
All right. Well, you know what? Thanks you all.
Thank y'all. Sorry, I gotta be all like clear about
hey, this is when it happens to you on live. Like, all right, over 2 hours.
No, we did good. No, 2:15. It was good. We cranked this. Don't get twisted.
We definitely did. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Tell everybody about us. Tell everybody to join us. It's up in the air. What's going to end up happening next week in terms of a show because I'll be in Madrid. I guess it'll be morning because they're 6 hours ahead. So I just got to make a decision. Oh shoot, in the pregame too. I will figure out what I need to do.
Yeah,
I'll figure out what I need to do.
We'll
I just
chat.
yeah. So we'll chat. Well, I mean, we're gonna make it happen. Let me be clear. We're
Yeah.
gonna make that work, and make sure that I'm locked in with you guys from Madrid. So,
All
thank y'all so much, and we'll talk to y'all later.